Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode with MoneyFit MD. For those that are watching for the first time, welcome. I'm Dr. Latifat, aka MoneyFit MD. I am a physician and I'm also a money coach. I help you learn how to master your money and your money mindset so you can actually win at it. So, today I'm talking about perfection in your finances. When I was sitting down and thinking about this episode, it actually took me back to medical school. So I remember those days of medical school rotations. Some of my favorite rotations were surgery, general surgery, neurosurgery. And I actually don't know if I've ever shared this with you guys before, but one of the reasons why I ended up going into GI was because I loved surgery so much, but I also loved the brain of an internal medicine doctor. So I got to combine the brain of an internal medicine doctor in terms of figuring out the why, and then the practicality of using my hands for a procedure. And that's how I ended up with GI. But anyway, so I remember during my neurosurgery rotation in medical school, it was so awesome the things that we got to see. I mean, the human body is amazing and is beautiful. And the more I learned about it, the more I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. So when I would go on during my neurosurgery rotations, there were procedures being done. I mean, I wasn't the one doing the procedure. I assisted with some of them, and we'll do things as basic as like the VP shunt. There were endovascular surgeries, fixing AVMs, embolizations, and all this other things that were pretty awesome to be a part of. In fact, I considered going to neurosurgery before. I mean, during the rotation, and then I quickly was like, no, don't get too excited here. This is not for you. I mean, I can do it if I want to. It actually takes just one extra year longer than the training that I did, but it was never something that I'd considered doing. So, no, and I like talking to people. So, neurosurgery wasn't really the thing for me. But what I remember though is you had to be very, very precise. Perfection is needed. You cannot deviate from perfection. It has to be precise, the measurements, the location, the target, right? Because if you're doing a procedure in someone, maybe to remove a tumor, and you do something mistakenly, it could literally cause them to lose a function of their legs. It may cause them to become paralyzed. So, like, the level of precision is like so important. And a lot of us go through that rotation, but that's just an example of the level of precision or perfection that we sometimes have to do when it comes to the practice of medicine. And if you mess up, the downsides, like the implications, are significant. Lives are changed, not for the better. And so, what happens is now picture that level of precision and perfection that we go through in our training. And then now we come to our finances and we're looking for that level of perfection, because if we mess up, someone is going to what? Yeah. So we bring in that same fear that we have in medicine, which is justified in a lot of things that we do, and we're bringing that into our finances. And as you can imagine, it can sometimes lead to delay or failure to launch, failure to move, failure to do stuff, right? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Because when it comes to money, most things are actually not precise. I know you're like, well, but 1 plus 1 is going to be 2, and 5 plus. I get the math part. But when it comes to things like, what do I do? Like, how do I create a budget? What is the app that I should use? What should I invest in? Like, we are trying so much to make it perfect that a lot of times we actually end up doing nothing, which is one of the worst things you could do. Because if you want to actually perfect something, you start. You start and then you revise, you go back, you edit if you think you need to do that, right? Because you're doing the best you can based on the knowledge you have right now. And yes, I don't want you to lose your money. However, the worst that could happen is you lose your money. And if you've been part of my sphere at all, if you've been part of my programs, if you've used any of the materials that I've had accessible, whether that's free or paid, you understand that money in terms of the numbers is important, but your relationship with yourself is also really, really important. Because if you have your own back, no matter what, if you know for sure that you love yourself no matter what, then making a mistake becomes less scary. And when it's less scary, then you actually are able to make less mistakes Because as you've heard a lot about from my podcast and from my video and the things I do, our thoughts create our results. When we're like walking on eggshells, not wanting to make any mistakes ever, what ends up happening is we actually end up making mistakes because we're not working from a place of clarity. We're not working from a place of knowing, of deep knowing. We're working from a place of fear, of uncertainty, and not giving things 100%. And so what ends up happening is our need for perfection actually prevents our finances from being anything close to perfect. Does that make sense? So the thing is this, guys, like I said, money is not perfect. I'm not trying to say go out there and do all the crazy things. No, I'm not saying that. However, a lot of times we're like, okay, I want to learn about this. And then once I'm done learning about it, I'm going to learn about it again and then learn about it again and learn about it again. It's like this cycle, as if someone was going to die if we made a mistake, right? No one is going to die if you make a mistake when it comes to your finances. And in fact, sometimes the worst mistake you could make is do nothing, right? I've had people tell me things like, my money's been sitting down here for 2 years, no growth. I mean, even if the mistake you made was putting it in like a bond, it would probably make something, right? But because you're like, oh, I don't want to make a mistake, I don't want to make a mistake. In fact, I'll share with you guys, when we first started learning about money, the way we chose our investment vehicle was we literally went on the Wyckoff Investor. It has a list of funds, and we picked one, and we're done. Or you could look at Bogle and look at the 3 to 4 funds, pick one and then be done, right? So those are the things that I want you to think about, that it's so important for us to make sure that in our attempt to be perfect or seek perfection, we're not keeping ourselves away from actually taking any action. All right. So if that's you, I want you to remember it's never going to be perfect. You start by starting. You start before you think you're ready, because again, I'm waiting till I'm ready could be another way of procrastinating and failure to launch, right? And then the last thing I want you to do is you start and then you improve, you do better. When you know better, you do better, but you start somewhere. And that's what this is about. I hope you've enjoyed this recording. I hope you've looked around and listened to the other contents that I have available for you. My goal is that every woman physician will not just have money, but will have money and feel confident and good about it. So if you've enjoyed this episode, I want you to go ahead and share. Share it. Don't keep it to yourself. Sharing is caring. I want to help reach as many women physicians as I can. So I want you to take this and share this link with any girlfriends, any woman physician girlfriends that's in your life that you like, and things could benefit from this. All right. And you can tag me on Facebook or Instagram, MoneyFitMD, and let's get growing together. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.